Good evening, everyone.
It's Friday, 8 p.m.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Debs.
Welcome to Codes of the Unknown.
Don't be afraid.
Ooh.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, yeah, sorry, I've got to shut that door.
Shut that
It's
door.
too
Like Larry Grayson.
much noise. So unprofessional, sorry, but I don't want the noise.
Right.
Don't worry, it's only us.
Yeah. We're not bothered.
Hey!
Hey. So
Hi, yeah.
tonight we've got Vanessa. Hello, Vanessa.
Yes. Hi, Vanessa.
Hey! Hi, yeah.
So let's dive right in. My first
Yeah.
question is, where did it all start for you, Vanessa? With the strangeness.
Oh, it all started in London.
Right.
I grew up in the East End, and when I was about 4, I I always felt different anyway. I had an out of body experience. My nan used to come
Right.
in and wake us up, and I floated. I met her at the front door. I come aware above her that I was in front of her, and as she walked down the hallway to my bedroom, I automatically was going in reverse just over the top of her head. I reversed through the door and then went straight back, reversed into my body, and it was just happening automatically. And as she was trying to wake me up, I was going, I'm awake, I can see you. I was with you the whole time. And she just said, no, you weren't. Your eyes were shut. And she went, come on, stop being silly and get up. So I never spoke about it because how do you explain that?
Yeah.
Um, and then when I was 6, I was sat at the window and it was about 1 o'clock in the afternoon because my nan always gave me lunch at that time. So she said
Yeah.
she wanted to go down to the shop downstairs, and which was unusual because she never left me alone like that.
Yeah.
And then I'm sitting there eating sausage, chips, and beans. I know exactly what I was eating, and I could hear vroom, 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 and the window went black. And when I looked beside me, this craft just came straight down the other side of the window. I mean, it was that close. If I'd have opened the window, I could have touched the glass. And there were
Yeah.
2 men sitting in front, sitting side by side facing me. Um, they had like white helmets on with black ear rims, like helicopter pilots would
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Glasses, brown flying jackets. They had cream jodhpurs on and high black leather boots. And they were just staring at me, and I was staring at them. And after a little while, it just went back up like that, and I watched it go.
Yeah.
But there was
Right.
no way that that was a helicopter because it wouldn't have been able to get up against glass like it did.
No.
Well, my nan come back in, and I went to her, "Did you see the helicopter?" And she went, "No." Um, and I never said any more about that one. Um, and things like this just continued throughout the years of high strangeness like that. Like when I was 7 and I wasn't allowed to open the door, um, and I knew, no, you know, you always call the adult, the door's knocked, Nan, get the door,
Yeah.
But this time I didn't. For some reason, I opened the door and there was this woman standing there and she grabbed me, but she was tall, skinny, almost like a humanoid,
Right.
like a
Yeah.
hybrid.
Yeah.
She never said anything. She looked really pale. She hung on to me and I couldn't get away from her. So at that point, I started screaming for my nan, who came along. She come rushing to my aid. She couldn't part our that woman from letting go of my arm. So my nan did a karate chop, pulled me into the house and shut the door. And that woman continued to knock on the door really weirdly for about an hour. And my nan didn't
Right.
know who she was. And then throughout the years of like from being 8 years old onwards, I was always getting stopped in the street, but there was something about the eyes on these people. And then it got to a point where my friends were witnessing it with me, and it was happening to all of us, but it was focused on me um,
Yeah.
until, I mean, how old was I? When I was 11, I was woke in the night. My dad used to go out and leave me and brother at home. He shouldn't have done, but he did. Um, and the light came
Different
on, so
era then.
I sat up and turned around to see who was there, and there were three beings standing there. A man at the front, and then just slightly behind him was two women. But the man looked almost Dracula-like because he had a high collar, and the women were
Yeah.
almost like, like his maidens. They had
Yeah.
that look to them, but they were really skinny. But they messed up. Um, the man said to me, "Turn around, lay down, and go back to sleep." And I heard him like I'm talking to you now,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
his lips didn't move. But it was very authoritarian, and I did it. I can't believe I did that. Went back to sleep, but my dad come home and went mad because my bedroom light was left on, and I couldn't work it out. Why was my light on?
Yeah.
Um, and it bugged me. And I was like, like you think something's happened, but you can't remember the event, and
Yeah.
there's something
Yeah.
was wrong about that night. And it took me about 3 weeks to remember, but then when I did remember, I remembered the whole thing. And then you can't tell anyone because it's
Yeah.
not believable. And someone will say, "Oh, you was having a dream," and that. No, I was in big trouble because my light was on.
Yeah.
And one of the rules was you turn your lights off and all that
Yeah.
because Dad's got to pay the bills and that. And he was quite a strong character. You didn't mess with him, so we did as we were told. But so that was my first inkling at 11 that something is going down here. We had paranormal stuff going on in the house all the time.
Did your dad witness the paranormal stuff, or is it just sort of you or your grandma or anybody? Just you?
My brother was feeling stuff like I was feeling stuff. But it wasn't till I had my first son that I found out that when I was small enough and being in nappies and that, my dad used to go sky watching with his brother. But I never found that out till
Yeah.
my first son was born when I was about 19. So I was like, oh my God, dad was doing all that. He believed in
Yeah.
UFOs and all the other things. We didn't know until back till that time. So that was a bit of a reality
Yeah.
check. So
Uh,
I think it's his fault.
Probably. Yeah. Throwing them in.
Yeah, he's drawn attention to us.
It's
so was
interesting.
this? Yeah. Did this all happen at the same house, or was it different houses?
Oh, different houses. Wherever I go, it follows me.
Right. That's
But
what
my
the
brother's
next
in a
question
different
was.
place and it follows him too. So it's kind of with us
Yeah.
wherever we are.
It's connected to both of you.
Yeah,
So do you think it's the same thing or different things?
it's complex because it's been very clearly different different aspects of the phenomenon
Uh-huh.
and kind of a bit of each.
Yeah.
But wherever we've been, there's always paranormal, ghosty stuff going on. You
Right.
could
Yeah.
say sometimes it's felt like um, poltergeisty style. And then
Yeah.
it weren't until much later that I connected that was still connected with the UFO phenomenon. It's all
Right.
wrapped up as in
Yeah.
one. So it was hard to identify whether um, that spirit of someone past, whether it was an entity from beings coming
Yeah.
in, because I believe that they take on so many different forms that we are wrong to stick them all in one box.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there's only just
Yeah.
this or only just that. I think there's much more than we can comprehend that can come in and out of this time frame. Even if they're not here constantly, they
Yeah.
pass through.
Yeah. Does make sense.
And we've witnessed it on multiple occasions. And it got to a point when I moved to Suffolk in 2000, it took on, it was like it accelerated. It went from being sneaky and creepy to in your face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I got a camera and I started to capture the images to, it's almost like a show and tell. I
Yeah.
don't need the pictures. I really don't. I don't care because I go outside, they show up, they're
And it's
there.
there.
I know what I'm
Yeah.
seeing. My friends see it with me, my family's seen it with me. So I took pictures almost like a freeze it in time, zoom in, have a good look at it.
Yeah.
Because at the time when you see these things, you stand in awe, you don't take your eyes off it, And I just thought
Yeah.
I'd be able to at least say, look, it's not just me imagining it, the camera's catching it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean. It's
Do
like,
I think cryptids are also included in the phenomenon? Oh, yeah, definitely. It's all part and parcel of it.
yeah. It's
That's
like
just.
a lot of stuff that I've seen. I've pretty much not got any photos, only like when we've gone out doing an investigation.
Right?
It's like you said, you don't need photos. You know what you're seeing.
Yeah.
You know what you're seeing, what you heard. You was there. Whether anyone else was there or not, it's kind of irrelevant. But you're gonna get people that don't believe. No, even if you show photos, they're not gonna believe you.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
it's just how it is, isn't it?
It is.
Unfortunately. Yeah.
But what I ended up doing, and I had a lot of fear when I realised that how heavy this had got. And then,
Yeah.
You look back and you're like, oh my God, that was that, this was this, and it started making sense. I
Yeah.
had missing
Yeah.
time for 3 days with my ex.
Wow.
Um, and I was about 18 when that happened. And nobody looked for us because we were house sitting for a friend. And we told all our
Yeah.
mates, oh, we're going to look after so and so's house. Who's going to look for us? When they all thought, oh, they're all right, they're up there.
Yeah.
So nobody looked for us. And we went asleep at 10 o'clock Saturday night. And it was winter time. So the mornings and nights were kind of dark. And then
Yeah.
when we woke up, it was 6 o'clock. He said to me, what time is it? I went, 6 o'clock. And then he goes, oh, no. I said to him, something's wrong. He said, why? I went, there's buses going past with kids on it in school uniform. And there shouldn't have been because it should be Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At 6 o'clock, it should be Sunday morning. So I went to him, oh my God, there's kids on the bus. So anyway, we got ready and we got out of there. And I had to go up to somebody and ask them what day it was. Whether it was morning or night, they did answer me,
Yeah.
but they looked at me like I was absolutely
Yeah.
mad. It was actually Monday night,
Wow.
and we wandered the streets from Stepney Green, which is where we was house sitting. We went
Yeah.
to Whitechapel, Bethnal Green, and walked all the way down, and we was spaced out because it was getting later and later, like nearly 10 o'clock at night, when we was just
Yeah.
like going, oh my God, it's getting later and later. It's Monday night. Everybody's going to be going to bed soon. We've just woke up and we're
Yeah.
missing days. This is like crazy.
Have you ever thought about having regression?
Yes. I thought about it.
I mean, 3 days is. I mean, people say about hours, don't
That's
they?
all.
But 3 days is a long time to.
That's all.
It's not the
Yeah.
only time it happened to me.
Right.
I had missing time of about 5 hours when living up here in Suffolk. Um, I'd left a club, left my friends because I just wanted to go home. My boots were killing me. My feet were really
Yeah.
hurting. And I thought, I'm just going home. So I started walking. I got quarter of the way and I thought, I'll cut down the back because there's one thing when you're from London, you're like, you want to stay safe. So I always think,
Yeah.
stay where the
Yeah.
houses are because anything happens, you can always call out.
Yeah.
Um, I become aware that I was standing in Alton Broad by this church, and the first thing I did was look up. It was a clear sky, starry sky, but
Yeah.
I don't know how I got there. 1 minute I was 3 miles away, and now I'm here.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have even walked the longest way round. My feet were killing
I
me.
was going to say, not with your
Yeah.
feet hurting.
I would take the shortest route
Yeah.
anyway. So I get home, and when he opened the door, he said, "Do you know what time it is?" And I went, mm, "About 1:15, 1:30." And I mean 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
He went, "No, it's 5:15. Where the hell have you been?"
Jeez.
And on
That's
my
scary.
hand, I had this big burn mark right there, which I've still got the scar of, which I didn't know how I got. I had one of those pouches, like a bum bag
Yeah.
with all my
Yeah.
stuff in it.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
driving license, bank cards, everything. That was gone, never to be found again. I phoned the club where I'd been, like the next day, trying to find everything. No, nothing. It
That's
just
weird.
gone.
That's mad.
That must have been
So
frightening, though.
the
Yeah.
reality that your time can go and you can't like
Yeah, you can't
trace
account for
that
it.
time, yeah,
Yeah.
is a major concern. And I had some very frightening times because it's stuff that's not meant to exist. It's not meant to be real. Yet I was living it, and it's so isolating
Yeah.
because how do you get through all that by yourself?
Yeah.
This is before internet days.
Yeah.
There was no one to refer to. I used to collect UFO magazine to try and make
Yeah.
sense of things, but there was no one to really talk to. Um, Friends and family understood, but there was nothing outside of that. And I
Yeah.
think sometimes you need to talk to somebody who's a bit more
Yeah.
knowing to give you that bit of comfort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And later on down the line, I started researching big things like the books by Zachariah Sitchin, Lawrence Gardner, um, looking at the Bible from
Yeah.
a different perspective.
Yeah.
And I started to I could see and understand things on a different level. Then my relationship with them up there changed.
Yeah.
Mm. It'll be the not knowing what happened to you in that missing time.
Mm.
That'd be the most worrying thing for me.
It
Yeah.
would
It would be. Yeah.
I've wondered, can I handle it? And that's why I haven't done it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
not
I
being
can understand
funny,
that.
am I meant to forget that to protect my sanity?
Yeah.
Is it done as a protection on me that I shouldn't remember that? Or do I go and indulge and will I be able to cope with the reality
Yeah.
of that?
And the aftermath.
I'm not ready for that.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah. I
one
can
day I will
understand that.
be,
Yeah.
but right now, and I think you've got to be really careful of who does a regression on you. I want
Yeah.
somebody, if and when I do decide if that happens, I want somebody who's really a professional at what they're doing.
Yeah.
I don't want
Definitely.
memory planted in my head. I don't want to be led.
Yeah.
Um, and if something comes out, I want somebody who can cope with what they're dealing with.
Yeah.
If there's anything, you know, that you can't handle,
Yeah.
if I freak out or anything, I want someone who can handle me there.
Yeah. You need a professional in the field, don't you? Sort of somebody that deals with that kind of thing.
Yeah, and you find all these professionals are only yours in America.
Yeah, I know. That's the other thing.
I've found that the UK is lacking.
Mm. There is one lady in the UK, I think, that does it for abductees, and I can't remember her name. She pops up every now and again on these when I watch YouTube, and I'll have to look for her name. I can't remember her name offhand.
So the only one I know from America that is Mary Rodwell is the only
Yeah,
one that I know is somebody I class as knowing her stuff. And
yeah,
if there was somebody on this side of the fence, maybe I could do some research on her and then
yeah. Take it
take
from
it from
there. Yeah,
there.
yeah. Patricia Adams Wright's asking, do you think they use you as a homing beacon?
I think I actually am one.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Seriously, stuff got heavy in 2000, like even to this day. It's crazy, but I get
Yeah,
quiet moments. And someone said to me, "When how quiet do things get?" And I go like, "Oh, quiet. I might get 2, 3 months max." And
yeah,
that's like, "What?" I thought that was long. And to
yeah,
somebody else, that's not long at all. It shows you how
yeah,
frequent and how accepted it is.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Nellie's asking, sorry to ask Vanessa, but has all this left you with PTSD? Sorry, that I don't mean any offence by asking.
You ask what you like, I don't mind. I've had fear of the dark, and if it weren't for living with my husband that
Yeah,
I've been with now for 8 to 10 years, prior to that, I couldn't handle dark. I couldn't be in a house without a light on. I couldn't go to sleep
yeah,
without a light on. And if he stays out overnight, lights on.
yeah,
So you could say I'm totally affected.
yeah,
Um, Sometimes I'm driving and I daren't look in the mirror, you know, in case somebody's in the car with me
yeah.
that shouldn't be in the car with
Yeah.
me.
I've had that
There's
before.
other
Yeah,
things it does mess with you.
see if there are
Yeah,
more
I've had to
questions.
fight back.
Yeah,
I really, I've had stuff happen to me that I can't even mention because no one could handle it.
yeah,
Seriously.
yeah.
Right.
And there is more to come because um, my case is being documented by Ian Halling, who's
Right.
Linda Moulton Howe. Do you know of her?
Yes, yes.
She's fascinated with my case and currently always asking after me. And I've got to get some evidence from my brain scans that I've had done for medical analysis. She's going to get a nurse assess those records. So
Yes.
Right.
we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think you've ever had implants?
Yeah,
Have you found any?
I believe that it was removed
Right.
in
Right.
2014 when I had an eye-op because I've got an illness which
Yeah.
had come on as a mystery before because my eye swelled up. I had eye trouble, my eye swelled up, and then my face. And they took, I had to have an eye op, and they took flesh from the back of my eye socket to get a diagnosis for what was wrong with me.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And the guy who did it, at first, he was really nice. After the operation, I went back to get the results, and he changed his attitude with me. He screamed at me. He was abusive. He told me he found something and did that. And then he sent me off to some nurse and said, "You go and get some blood tests." And he walked out and slammed the door. And I was just stood there
Oh.
like that.
Like that. Like that was your fault.
Yep. What am
Uh,
I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
what would you think? Because I know what that left me thinking.
Yeah.
And before they did the eye op, and I had 4 specialists looking into both my eyes with these optics because I tell you now,
yeah.
I look like the Elephant Man.
Yeah.
And they said to me, "When do you have your eye operation?" I was like, "What?" They said, "When do you have your eye operation?" I said, "Never had an eye operation." They went, "Yes, you have." I went, "I haven't. I went, what made you say that? And they went, you've got 2 symmetrical cysts in both eyes from eye operations you've had. And
That's weird.
that was hard to take,
Yeah.
but that was also a reality check that what's
Yeah.
happening to me is happening on a real deep level.
Yeah.
And then I've had to have chemo and ongoing treatments because of what's going on with me. And then I got myself, because my specialists weren't treating me very well, so I got myself a new guy 2 years ago, and he's top in the
Yeah.
field. So he called me one night because he told me when he tries to get me this proper diagnosis, because they said I had vasculitis, but they wanted
Right.
I wanted a name for it because there's different levels of it, different
Yeah.
names, and I wanted to know which one I had, which is my right to know.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And he said, I've got to look at all your brain scans and look at your records from the beginning, and then I'll be able to name it. I said, oh, fine, great, wicked, that's all I want. He phones me at 8:30 at night, and I'm like, GP's phoned me at night. And I said to him, yeah. He said, when do you have your nose operations? I was like, excuse me? That took me back to when I first got sick and they were asking me about eye operations.
Yeah.
I went, I
Mm.
haven't had nose operations. He said, yes, you have. He went, I've got your brain scans up in front of me on the screen right now and I can see it. And anyone else who's looked at this would have seen it as well. So I'm like, wow,
That's scary.
what? And he went, and I can tell you now, the nose operations you're having are affecting your eye. Oh, I started crying. I just
Yeah.
started crying. I just thought, what the hell?
Yeah.
And then I took my daughter with me to go to see him for my next appointment. So I confronted him and I said to him, what's this you're saying to me about the hole in my nose? The operations I've been to have. And he went, well, ain't you had any? I went, no. I went, and you know by my records, I haven't had any.
Yeah.
So he went, well, you could have been born with it, but I doubt it. Vasculitis could have caused it, but I doubt that as well because it's a perfect cut. And then he turned his back on me and carried on tapping away on the computer and he wouldn't talk to me about it anymore. And I just looked at my daughter and we were like, he said it himself, it's a perfect cut.
Yeah.
So I think on my missing times, I've been messed with.
Yeah. Sounds
Fact.
like it. Doesn't it? Yeah.
So when I wanted my, I asked one nurse, how will I get my MRI scans? And she said, they'll do it on a disc. I have to phone radiology. I said,
Yeah.
okay, fine. Then COVID happened. Hospitals weren't letting anything leave the hospital. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, I'm never going to get proof. But I'm due an infusion this month, so I'm going to go up there and I'm going to re-ask the nurses, when can I gain access to my records? I'm
Yeah.
entitled to them. They're mine.
You are.
Yeah.
But Linda Moulton Howe is going to get them assessed and checked because I know the evidence is within there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's scary stuff.
It's heavy.
It's one thing. It's one thing to know that you may be being abducted or whatever. It's another thing to know that they're actually messing with you like that, innit?
It is, especially when I've got to live with. I'm not saying it caused vasculitis, but like having this has put me under all this assessment by the GPs and the
Yeah.
hospital and the specialists who have then found these things.
Yeah.
So whether this has caused the vasculitis or whether, you know what I mean, the vasculitis has
Yeah.
shown that something's going on with me, there's proof there somewhere and I want it.
Yeah. Too right, you do.
And that also backs up that something's being done. So Linda and Ian are going to help me out with that.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
No.
You'll have to let us know how
definitely.
that goes.
I will do. I know it sounds really
least
heavy,
you're laughing
guys. I'm
about it.
sorry if it's. Oh, I'm used to it all. Don't worry about it. Normal day for me.
Yeah. So what about paranormal stuff, as in haunting type things then? Tell us about things like that.
We won't go on to the UFO ones yet.
No, we've got pictures for them.
I have.
Oh, yes.
There's been. Okay, I'll start to structure this. I'll go to London, right? So
Yep.
when I had my kids, the bed would lift up with them and their cousin on it while they're playing computer. Their bed would levitate. They would have punching underneath the bed. The toys would go off so that they couldn't run outside the bedroom door because the toys were running by themselves in front of the door, preventing the kids from getting out there.
How old were the kids at this point?
Joe was 4, Reese was 6.
Jeez, that's young.
Right. They had, well, my brother, before I had my last child, my brother stayed overnight and he'd had arguments with his missus. And I woke up next day to go and wake him up for work and he'd gone. So I caught up with him later and said, "Where'd you go?" He went, "You're having a laugh, sis." He went, "All night long, up and down. The walk-in was going down the hallway, beside the bed, back to the hallway, but he couldn't take it anymore. He said, something's in your house." So he left. He went back home to face the music with the wife
Yeah.
rather than stay at mine and deal with the
That's,
paranormal.
yeah. Jesus.
I sat in the front room and my fella at the time, we was just having a laugh and joke. And I said to him, "My nan will deal with you." My nan's passed. And in the kitchen, there was this sphere goes zzzz, like that big, and it looked like a plasma ball of lightning, only blue. And then it went bang, the
Yeah.
whole kitchen lit up blue as it went with this bang. And I went, and I watched the whole thing. I went, "See, I told you." He went, "Yeah, I believe you." He was petrified. He was pinned down 2 mornings in a row on the bed, and he used to do powerlifting. He's a big bloke. And
Yeah.
I took his school, come back, and honestly, he's sitting there, he's got a can, he's drinking. I said, "What's the matter with you?" He went, "I thought you were back." He went, "And it weren't you." And then whatever it was, sat on the bed, and the bed dipped. And then he
Yeah.
went to get up, and something leant on his back and pinned him there for the longest
Wow.
time. He was fighting and fighting to get up. This thing just had him there.
Yeah.
2 mornings on the trot. Then clock come off the wall, tried to catch him in his head when we were sitting in the front room watching TV. When we first moved into that place, that is behind the Blind Beggar in Whitechapel,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Collingwood Estate. We moved there, and the first day of moving in, I put the kids in what would be my room temporarily because their room, I put all the boxes, we hadn't unpacked them yet.
Yeah.
So we sat in the front room on a chair. Just got a first coffee. I was like, "Oh, thank God for that." And then the boys started screaming. So I got up and ran in the bedroom, and both my boys were pointing at the window. The Hat Man was standing there. The boys had seen him at the same time and absolutely freaked. The only thing is, the Hat Man was standing with a gun, and both the boys described him at the same time and freaked.
Right.
And this is, there's so much. It's absolutely, it's spiraled.
Thinking about that, if you were behind the blind beggar, I mean, you don't know if that was some entity that was something to do with the craze, do you? You know, like spirit.
My dad used to run around with them. The Crows.
Yeah.
He did. Because my dad grew up in Brady Street and they were in Valence Road.
Yeah.
Even when the boys went to prison, my dad would pick up Violet, their mum, and Charlie, the other brother, and take them up to the prison for the visits.
Yeah.
They were that friendly. They'd
Yeah.
call my dad sometimes, "Oh, I'll go and pick mum up, make sure she gets in safe." And he used to do it.
Yeah.
So there is that connection there.
Yeah.
Later on down the line, Margaret Thatcher recommended my dad to work for General Pinochet, the Chilean
Yeah.
ambassador to
Yep.
General Pinochet.
Yeah.
And my dad was his bodyguard. So my dad used to take me sometimes to the embassy, and I used to speak to Pinochet and his family. And Christmas and birthdays, Pinochet used to buy me and my brother presents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when the Falklands War began, Pinochet had to go back to his own country, and then my dad stayed with us. But if Pinochet wanted him to go over there, my dad would have had to go. But because
Yeah.
my dad was raising us without mum, with just my nan, his mum, Pinochet let my dad stay with us. So it's really complicated.
Yeah, it's fascinating though.
Yeah, very interesting.
Was that
Very.
the mention of Whitechapel throws Jack the Ripper into another light? Yeah. We used to do the Jack the Ripper walk because
Yeah,
that was en route to things. You know what I mean? You'd see loads of stuff.
Yeah.
You get to learn where this and that happened.
fascinating stuff. Fascinates me.
Is.
It is, and because I used to think, wow, my dad knew the craze and all that. And after I had my first son, one day there was like helicopters overhead, there were people hanging off of lampposts and that. So I was curious, what's going on? What's going on? So I went to St Matthew's Church, and that was when the first Cray died and was having that the burial. It was Ronnie Cray. He was
Yeah,
the first one, and there were limousines, limo. There was everyone in Bethnal Green had come out, and then there's crowds around the entrance. And I looked, do you know, I only see my dad standing there chatting to Charlie Cray and all the rest of them, and I was like, he's telling me the truth.
yeah,
He
Yeah.
does know him. I see it for myself. But I had a child in pushchair, and it was too crowded. I got the hell out of there because I'm not going to put my kid at risk.
no,
But I was only for a little while just to be nosy and see what was going on. But
yeah.
that's fascinating. Perhaps
So-
Socrates said, valuable women with the mutilations.
Who was
I
perhaps-
believe that.
Yeah, the Greys. Are we on about the
Could
Greys
be.
or yeah?
Beings.
Things
Makes you
that are
wonder.
going around mutilating.
Yeah,
See, my kids have the phenomenon as well. So with me,
Yeah.
I was always seeing the humanoids. My eldest boy was getting reptilians, and my second son was getting like 3 foot high, quite dark skinned, big saucer-eyed beings. And then
Yeah.
my last child, my daughter, she gets the greys. So we actually even have our own types that are attached to us.
Right.
I'm sorry. I'm just gonna have to nip off a minute.
Yeah,
Keep
you're all
going.
right.
That's okay.
So it's more, you've got your own phrasing, but you've got your own fix of entities, so to speak.
Yeah, our own attachment type entities. Yeah.
Yeah. Rather than having an assortment of different ones per person,
Yeah.
it's like solid per, like each individual.
Yeah. Like we
Cool.
get things go missing in the house. We get
Yeah.
different stuff happening, but we've had more than multiple witnesses witness
Yeah.
so many different elements of it, from craft beings, the works.
Yeah. Were you saying earlier about your brother? He has attachments as well. Is his
Yeah.
varied or is like structured like yours?
Varied.
So he gets a bit of everything.
Yeah. A lot of paranormal though. And what he tends to do
Right.
is that he tries to keep quiet and not talk about it, because the minute he does,
Yeah.
it seems to become active.
Right.
But yet at the same time, it's part of him and his life. He can't be without
Right.
it because he knows it's always going to be with him.
Yeah. It's bad.
He's had a lot of fear as well. He slept with lumps
Yeah.
of wood beside his bed. He's had sleepless nights trying to protect the family.
Yeah.
It really does affect your whole journey of life, and in so many different ways. So you go through the fear factor, then you go through assessing it, and then you get to a point of understanding it more and fearing it
Yes.
less. But I always say this to people: you've got your sixth sense and your instincts. Always trust them. And if you've got a
100%.
vibe that says be wary, then be wary.
Definitely.
Be
Totally
safe.
agree with that. Yeah.
It's there to
Well-
protect you. That's part of who we are. Listen to it.
Yeah. Just a quick question. Going back to
Mhm.
when you were saying about the implants and having operations on your nose,
Mm.
did they find anything inside your nose? Or did you
No,
find anything?
no. It showed up on the MRI scans, but I
Yeah,
have, on my right side, it's collapsed. It's been like that for
right,
years. Collapsed on this side. I can't breathe up that side. And this eye
right,
is the one that's troubled. So this all is in relation.
right. Got you.
Yeah,
No, the only reason I was asking, just quickly, because I've spoken about it before, and
yeah,
that many times, this is for you. Where I used to live in Milton Keynes. I woke up in the middle of the night. I felt something in my nose. I pretty much had my fist inside my nose. I pulled out a little piece. Do you know when you do the COVID test?
yeah,
The little plastic thing that you shove up your nose, you know? It was
yeah.
like a centimetre long piece of that, about that
Oh,
thickness, is
right,
inside my nose. And that was on my right hand side. And now that has collapsed. You can feel the difference. I've never had. The only thing I had my tonsils out when I was 6, and I had my adenoids removed at the same time because you can do it all
right,
in one go. But this was going back, I'd say 2016, so about 5 years ago.
right.
Excuse me. And it's a little piece like that. My hand was covered in blood.
Yeah,
It's a white unit, so I'll put it on there because when you just all you got to do is go to sleep. But I'll have a look in the morning. Woke up in the morning, no blood,
yeah,
nothing there. And I put it where it couldn't roll. It was like between two things. So if it rolled
yeah.
to the left, it rolled into that. If it rolled to the right, it go that way. And it couldn't roll backwards or forwards.
Oh my
And
God.
that side of my nose is completely, you can feel the cartilage compared to that side.
Yeah, my cartilage is bent inside like that.
Yeah, you
It's
can actually
closed
feel it.
over. Oh my God. Yeah,
Yeah, so,
I've
but I
I've
didn't,
even
it
tried
was one of
pushing
them
it
where,
over.
yeah, but it's one of them. I didn't know it was there, knew nothing about it. I just woke up, say,
Mm,
what, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning,
yeah.
and just started digging inside my face, basically, till I got this thing out. And it was solid. It's like a little plastic tube.
Oh my
It
God.
couldn't be more than 2, maybe 3 millimeters thick and about a centimetre long.
Yeah,
And then it was, obviously it's bleeding because I was ripping the tissue through the
yeah,
inside of my nose. No
yeah,
blood there, nothing. Did you know, like when blood dries on your hand, it's sticky?
yeah.
There's nothing like that, nothing whatsoever. And it
That
just,
is bizarre.
with you saying that, I thought I'd ask you to see if it was similar to what I experienced.
That that sounds similar, even though I haven't found an object of such.
Yeah,
There is a clear-cut hole because a specialist told me that.
yeah,
So something that's created that effect in my nose,
yeah,
yours sounds the same.
yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Wow.
So it's just, I know, it's just one of them. It's one that I keep forgetting about it. And then, like yourself, someone will say something, and it's like, oh
Yeah.
my God, that's so close to what happened with me. But at
Yeah.
the time, I was having dreams about UFOs. It's like Star Wars in the sky. I'd be walking down the road or running or whatever, and then I'd see a couple of jet fighters. Then all these ships would come out of nowhere, and they'd be battling in the sky. And then the
I've had
same
those
bloke
type
every
dreams
single
too.
time, yeah, the same bloke every time would come out and say, "What are you doing? You're not supposed to be able to see this. How can you see it?" And then I'd
Yeah.
run off, and he'd be chasing me.
Oh my
And that,
God.
Weird.
I know I had another one like that the other day, but I woke up before the bloke turned up. Exactly the same, other than the bloke didn't turn up.
Oh my God.
So
Strange.
yeah,
Yeah, because
very.
I've had dreams of being on the ship, but I can't say I don't ever remember,
Yeah,
getting up, walking on the ship, or being beamed on the. No, I haven't.
I just remember being on them,
Yeah.
but never seeing who was on the ship with me. I'd see all
Okay.
like the furniture, and the equipment, like the computers and all that kind of stuff, but I'd never see another figure. I could hear
Yeah.
them talking, but I couldn't tell you
Yeah.
if it was in my head, if it's another room, through an intercom. What? No idea.
Oh my God.
It's freaky.
Well, I
Yeah,
see
it's
the
just,
beings, but not their faces. Because I was on my knees looking out the window back
yeah,
at Earth, and there was all this light. So I turned around to see who was there, and there were three hooded,
yeah,
cloaked beings facing me. But the light was so bright coming from behind them that they
yeah.
were
It blanked
silhouetted
them out.
black.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah,
handed me a bar, and they gave me this metal bar, and I said, "What's this for?" And they said, "Lead the way for others to follow. We're giving you the bar. You're to
Right.
hold the bar." So I was like, I had a good look at the bar, and next thing I
Yeah.
know, I'm
yeah,
back home in bed, and I was like, "Wow, that is a heavy dream," but I remember every bit of it.
yeah.
Do you just want to see some photos?
Yes.
Do the viewers want to see some photos?
Oh, they will
Of course
do.
they do.
Can I just
If
ask
they
you
don't,
though?
they do now. They ain't got a choice.
Patricia wants to know if it ever happens when you're away, like on holiday or anything.
Oh, I'm
Or do you get
so
a
glad
break?
she asked that. That was so brilliant. I went to Wales. Where were we?
Wales is very
Not
Tanya's laughing because
Cardigan.
she's laughing.
It's fab. First proper holiday away with hubby
Yeah,
because he gets skeptical. But
right.
this was classic. Where were we? Um, Caerphilly. Is it
Right, yeah.
Caerphilly?
yeah,
There was a valley around that area with caravans and that, and he took me there up that way. And so we're in the bottom of this valley. There's all these hills around us. I thought, oh, this is great. I love this. And he's got his dog Tilly, like Springer Spaniel anyway. Middle of the night, I get up, need the toilet as you do, need a wee. And I got the dog, come with me, because I'm scared of the dark. Take the dog with me.
uh,
And then I go, like the front roomy bit where all the chairs are. I go
Yeah.
to there, and outside the caravan were massive colour balls of light just crisscrossing over in the air outside. So I stood there like I daren't move the curtain things. I just stood there because I could see through all the light.
yeah,
And I stood there in awe. I was like, oh my God. And I knew because my heart was going, I was like, I know who that is. I know it's them. So I thought, oh,
yeah,
go back to bed, go and join him. I'm not being on my own. So anyway, I joined him. In the morning, I get up and I'm like, click, click, click. There's no lights, no electric, no nothing. So I've gone, Colin, I can't make you a coffee because there's no electric. He goes mad because it's our first night in the caravan. He's going,
yeah,
what kind of place is this? Rah, rah, rah. Anyway, we get dressed and we go to the person who runs the caravan park, their caravan. Only thing is, we're not the only ones walking to the caravan. Everyone off the whole campsite is heading to the caravan with us. They've all got the same problem. The power was out for everyone. The power packs were all blown in the night.
Wow.
And I went, and I told the guy who ran it, I went, I'm sorry, but there were lights around this caravan park last night because I saw them through the window. And I
yeah,
went to him, do you believe in UFOs? And he went, we do actually. So I was like, yes. Colin's going, don't be so bloody mad. And but he's witnessing these things that go on around us, and I'm like, how can you deny it when these things are
Yeah.
going on all the time?
That's
So yeah,
so-
things happen on holiday.
yeah, you don't get a
there's
break.
no escape.
No,
Right, another quick one before you put your pictures up. Alison wants to know, Vanessa, do you feel part of your family or part of their family?
there's something, if you know what I mean. I feel a connection. There's something higher connected with
Yeah.
me. Fact.
Yeah,
And I do feel guided. I feel protected, even though I think because of the way I am and what's with me, sometimes that's like it's like a bright light for darker things to come in out of curiosity and think,
Yeah.
why you? What's about you? Or they know what it is and come and trouble
Yeah.
me. I don't know.
Yeah.
But there is something.
Feels like you've got a foot in each camp, like you're part of his here
Yeah.
and part of his elsewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's speculative. It's only how I feel.
Yeah.
It's years of evidence and years of high strangeness around me
Yeah.
that's made me come to that conclusion. But I ain't got the fact yet.
Yeah.
I'll get it.
Oh, I'm sure you will.
It's there somewhere.
I will get it.
Let's have a look at your pictures then.
Oh, God. Are your viewers ready?
Oh, we're all ready. I'm ready.
Right, let's go to share. Just,
You share it, I'll put it on, then I'll change the cameras.
yeah, I'll do that. And then it's that. I'm not very technological minded. But
Right, 1 second.
there we go.
There we are.
And then.
Oh, where'd it go?
Oh, did it come up?
You had it
There
before
we
we
are.
came up. There we are.
Yay!
Right.
You beat me to it.
I used to go out of my house when I lived in Lowestoft, UK's most easterly point,
Yes.
and I used to just light up in the sky above me, UFOs.
Yeah.
So this one is what I call the car park in the sky, and I've seen them do it. This is like the mothership, and it'll change shape all the time while in the sky, and they're really bright, but spheres will come off of it and fly around.
Yeah.
And when they're done, they go back and attach to it.
So do you see this with the naked eye then, or do you just get an inkling that there's something there and you just take pictures?
No, they light up to me.
Right.
Quite low, light up to me bright. And I can't see the physical shape of it sometimes because of the brightness, but the camera doesn't have the same issue as
Yeah.
our eyes. And we get this cleaner like
That's
pictures.
amazing.
So do you
Wow,
think that
that's
they're trying to
bright.
communicate with you?
Oh yeah, we've got a thing going.
Yeah.
And do you
I could even
communicate
be in,
back?
yeah, telepathically. I can talk to him or
Yeah.
whatever. I've been cooking and I have to drop and run and get outside now because I've just got a feeling they'll be there, and they're there.
Yeah.
And I go
Yeah.
out and I wave. I could be hanging out the washing on an evening
Yeah.
and they'll light up within my view. It's like they even position themselves that they will catch my view.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
crazy.
Wow.
So do you know why they're communicating with you?
I'm at a level now of just high and by to them.
Right.
It's an acknowledgement. They know
Yeah.
I know they're there. So I've even said it to them. If you're going over, light up, say hi. And they do.
Yeah. Sort of like out of politeness sort of thing.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
is the relationship level we've reached.
Wow.
It's like we've reached an understanding with each other.
So do you think that's gonna become greater than what it is at the moment?
Can't answer that. I don't know. I just know what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Look,
Yeah.
there's even a date on my camera. So, that's
Yeah.
2009.
Yeah.
Let's get it down.
Wow. It's
This
almost
was,
like a profile of a face, that, isn't it? Like a
I
witch's
know.
face.
How it like grey with the two big almond eyes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen it like that.
You can see all
But
sorts.
here, that's like an A bar that it's sitting
Yeah.
on, right?
Yeah.
And I'm
then it's
pointing
its
that
head.
out because I've got a red UFO coming up further on down the line with another A bar shape, which makes me
Right.
think they are the same species version
Yeah.
of each
Right.
other.
Yeah.
This one was coming in really bright, really low over the top of the houses. I was with 3 friends and I said, oh my God, here comes one now. They're used to it. They were seeing
Yeah.
them too. So this was starting to dim out, and I shouted at it and said, "Don't you bloody dare! Light up, light up, light up." So it did, as it come over, low and slow.
Yeah.
As it went over the woods, it was heading towards the North Sea. Then this orange one, we all spotted it, and I had trouble keeping up with my camera to try and get a decent picture of it, and I couldn't get a shot of it. The whole sky was orange with it, but this chased this. The orange one shot towards this, and I thought, "Oh my god, that don't look good. Looks like
Yeah.
there was trouble ahead." So, yeah, craziness. Right. There were 3 UFOs here, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Middle mothership. This is
Yeah.
one that was to the left, and then there was another one to the right that I couldn't capture the image of for some reason. I
Right.
don't know, but there's this one here, and
Yeah.
this was the big bright one. And I was at the bottom of my garden, and I was just ready and waiting with my camera, and over they
Yeah.
come. They come over the roof of the house, not too fast, changing shape almost as they come and go. Um, and I was lucky to get pictures of it. There it is again,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? These are proper UFO pictures. These are
That's
just,
amazing.
Yeah.
you see the
You can.
green,
That's,
white, the blue.
Yep.
yeah.
When it headed over the woods, it changed shape to a dove
Right.
That sounds like a bird.
before
So
it
it
went.
did.
Yeah.
Wow.
See the green, the white, and the blue?
Yeah. Blue. Yeah.
Yeah. Same as.
I was on my own.
That's
And these are
amazing.
for me.
Yeah.
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 No malice, no harm. Just I'm in awe.
Yeah. It's like your own light show, isn't it?
It's
Yeah.
fantastic. There's my A bar.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
See it?
Can you zoom in on
Yeah.
that?
It's kind of like a wishbone, isn't it?
Wow.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
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 Just
Fascinating.
like the left-hand side.
Yeah.
Wow.
These are amazing.
Makes you wonder if it's just you that sees that, or if anybody else has seen that from another angle. You know, somewhere else, just like looking, like I do
Okay.
sometimes. I just kind of
Yeah.
glance outside.
I did have witnesses because I'll go, look at this, look at this. So
Yeah.
these are witnessed with me. Same
These,
week.
That's weird.
see, it's the same colours again.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. But these followed me. These orange, they're like fireball UFOs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they move quite slow. And they're not lanterns. I'm telling you
No.
now,
No,
right? I'm
definitely
ruling
not.
that one out because I'll
Don't.
show
Yeah.
you later on. This was taken in Lowestoft, and the ones I've got coming up later on were taken at London City Airport when I went to my brother's, and there was 2 UFOs that were fireballs. One nearly crashed into a plane. The plane had a fight and swerved to get away from it. But the second UFO, I made my brother get a camera and made him take off a reel of shots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they are the same conscious beings. Same again, but they're giving me the love. See my heart?
Yeah. That's,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
Oh.
Now tell me there's a lantern. Go on.
That's not a lantern.
It's a funny shaped lantern, that one.
It is. Yeah. That's amazing.
You see the heart?
Yeah.
There's definitely a connection between you and them.
Yeah.
Oh,
definitely.
God, yes.
It's just something else. It's something completely different to anything I've
But
ever
they're
heard of
conscious.
before.
Yeah.
The ship is conscious energy, and they can
Yeah.
change into beings. They can read your thoughts.
Yeah.
There's like an assessment of things going on.
Yeah.
There's a date there, 2008.
Yeah.
That's not a star. That's not star shake. It's too low in the sky.
That's more like a being with long hair to me.
I was
Yeah.
going to say it looks like a figure.
An angel or something.
It's awesome.
It is.
And this was with one of those 5, it's only a 5 megapixel digital camera.
Yeah.
When, you know, the older type ones.
Yeah,
So that's
nothing like state
center
of
of
the
the
art.
screen. Yeah. And you can
Yeah.
see the date is there. So there's nothing special about these. 2008. That's that one
Well, show
again.
me one. Yeah.
But I did put a filter behind it to try and
Bring it
I
out
try
of it.
things to see if I can see it clearer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if there's anything hiding in the background that I can't see.
See that one. I was saying
Oh.
that one looks like it had a hammerhead.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But
Just
by my
seen one.
house there was a tree, right?
Yeah.
And this
Yeah.
UFO came through the houses and between my house and the tree. And I put it through a filter. All this red is actually the leaves of the tree.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the UFO that's really bright. And as it went, it changed shape. There it is again.
Yeah.
In front of the tree, changing shape. Not that one. I'll come back to that and that. There it is still through the tree, changing shape. Changing shape.
Wow.
So do you actually see them changing shape? Are they
No.
constantly? No.
No. I've got the camera, and as it's going, I am
Yeah.
click, 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 trying to see
Right. Got
if
you.
I can catch a really good shot so I can actually get a good look at it. But I think as
Yeah.
well, if you take a sequence of shots, you've got a sequence of the event,
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. No, sorry. I was just wondering if you actually
Yeah.
watched him like maneuver into different shapes and positions.
No, it's the light is so bright. It's hard
Right.
on our
Yeah.
eyes. You know what I mean? I'm watching it
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
following it, but I'm also
Yeah.
squinting because of the brightness of it. But the
I
camera
suppose it's
doesn't
like
have that
staring
issue.
into a car headlight, isn't it, and trying to work out
Yeah.
the shape of it.
Yeah. Let me go back again.
See, sorry. Go back to that. Sorry, quickly. Can you just go forward again?
Oh, forward.
Yeah.
Tell me when.
That one. See, if you go back to that one previous to that, no, the one before that one. Sorry,
That one?
That one.
that looks like is it a treble clef music
Yeah,
symbol?
it's like a musical note, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see. I've got a tattoo somewhere on my arm.
Yeah.
There, you can just see it. If you can get it in the shot. So that's what it
Just.
reminded me of straight away.
Yeah. That's weird.
That's so mad.
It's crazy.
'Cause
But
it's
like,
symbols and shapes.
I know. It's like a fish
That's
jumping
like,
over something.
Yeah.
It's
It's
like a
like somebody
man.
fencing.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
With their arm out.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is though, because this was the sky. Actually, let me.
That'd be
I know we're looking
starry.
at the big white thing. What's
It's like a
Yeah.
shaft of light, isn't it?
yeah, like there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've not looked at that before because I always just look at this. But I'm like, what is that?
Yeah. That's
It's odd.
amazing.
And this one, spheres were coming off of that and flying around. So that might be what that
Yeah.
is. Could be
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
shooting off. I
I
call
was
them
gonna
the
say,
car park ones.
Yeah. This one, you can see at each angle it changes is like a ball.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, like
So I'm
sections.
guessing so each angle change that's looks like the ball. I can't speak an orb.
Yeah.
They seem to be bigger and more bold.
Mm.
Transformer.
That must be the main working station, the centre part there.
Yeah. That sends
'Cause
them
you
all out.
Got to think they've got to have a hub, surely.
Yeah, they've got to. They must have.
Right, and forward from them.
That's
And that one.
I was getting
That's
sightings in the garden, and I caught that in the sky when I was
That's
trying
a
to
tick.
take a picture of a UFO.
That's like the
But it
night
seems,
tick.
and this is
Yeah.
where I live now. This is like the Yarmouth end,
Yeah.
and there's still this green and the blue and the white.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking there's still years after, there's still the same types with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I just quickly say the last UFO I seen was that colour, the white at the bottom, and it was dropping plasma balls. That was about 5 years ago. Exactly the
Really?
same as that.
Oops.
But it was just like drips of balls, just dropping about 5 of them, and then it went outside. I was on the motorway, so I couldn't really stop
Oh my
or
God.
take any pictures.
Yeah.
And it's just like, just a ball, no really shape to it, and then just drops of plasma. I think that's what it looked like
Yeah.
to me anyway. But it was
No,
that
they
colour
are
white.
plasma-y stuff. I was in my garden. I was getting my UFO flashes and stuff, but something kept flying around me, and I tried really hard to catch it. And I
Yeah.
think this second one is a reflection on the screen of
Right.
this,
First one.
That top one, yeah.
Like
but
a
I
lens flare.
captured it.
You
Yep.
can see structure to that.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's like a
And
mirror
for
image underneath.
everybody's information, this black area behind there,
Yeah.
it's not a road. That's trees and a field.
Right.
Because I think that's really important.
Yeah.
And I know it's blurred, but I was moving to try and capture what
Yeah.
this was.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you could see it was in front of the house, whispering around me, like, but I knew it was there.
Yeah.
But I never saw it in red. I see it in black going around me.
Right.
Right.
So why it shows up red,
Mm.
I have no idea.
Mm.
So you've never had a visit from the Men in Black to get these pictures off you then?
No.
Not yet.
Right.
Look at that.
You remember
Oh,
I said I went to my brother's
yeah.
in
Yeah.
London? First UFO come in. That was like a torpedo coming across the trees, and we were saying goodbye to our friends who'd been over for a visit.
Yeah.
And I turn
Yeah.
around and I see this torpedo just coming along the top of the tree line. So I've gone, Mark, look, like shouting at my brother. And we left our friends. We just run around the back of the house because I want to get a better look. This thing's coming in low. And then the plane was going to land at the airport, and it was roaring its engines. It was fighting because it was going to collide with
Yeah.
the fireball. And then the plane swerved, and then the UFO went off. Like, it was going from left to right, and then it kind of went, once it got towards the right, it then went away. It headed away.
Yeah.
And then I was on my knees. I thought the plane was going to drop out of the sky. So I'm having a
Yeah.
mini heart attack, a little
Oh.
mini epi. And then I looked to the left, and there was coming another fireball along the same path, straight across the trees. So I said, Martin, quick, get a camera and just click away.
Yeah.
So he did. And this is what he captured. So these are the orbs
Oh,
all around the
yeah.
sky. It was a fireball. Everywhere is glowing orange with this
Yeah.
bright fireball. We never see this stuff with our eyes until the next day. Do you know we didn't even check the camera till the next day?
Yeah.
Twats.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, it turned into a being, energy being, shoots down into the trees. There's orbs everywhere,
Yeah.
and forms two beings in the garden.
Wow.
One is silver, one in orange, and I had an Egyptian-y feeling vibe about them.
Right. Yeah.
That was the first thing I got the next day when I looked at the footage. I mean, I nearly had a heart attack when I could see all this. I was like, oh my God,
That's amazing.
look at them.
They're definitely beings.
Look
Yeah.
at them. They are fab.
They are.
And when this happened, when the fireball UFO came over the trees, it was taking its time.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Right.
in a hurry. There's no mistake in it. There's no, camera blur. Those trees are a good shot, right?
Yeah.
Now, this is where I think the silver being come down in this.
Right. Yeah.
Because that don't even exist. I checked the next day. So that, like you think, did camera reflection reflect off of wires or anything
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are no wires there, just for the viewers assessing it.
There's a
Okay.
second one there, Ness. If you
Yeah.
look to the
That-
right of that, there's a fine second one.
Yeah, I noticed that
Yeah.
before.
But I don't know whether the brightness is reflecting on the camera
right.
screen. I tried to
Yeah.
be as accurate,
Yeah.
but I don't know what this bit
Yeah, you've got
is
the
here.
dotted lines.
What the hell is that?
Yeah.
So I'm
Can
open.
you,
This is a
can you
UFO.
zoom into the
This
bottom
is a
left?
mist. Yep, I'm gonna.
So right at the bottom left-hand corner. There. It's,
Orange
I
glow.
don't know if it looks like a hand. That.
Oh.
I don't know. No idea. It could be the fencing glowing from the brightness of the glow.
It's kind of. It looks like it's something.
Structural,
Dunno.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, what the hell is
Behind the
that?
tree.
Yeah.
Is
Behind
that
the
a
tree.
being?
That looks like a being to me.
Look
Black,
there.
black eyes. Yep. Yep.
Looks
I'd say
like an owl.
No.
No,
can
I
see it.
noticed a thing. The hand glow.
Shoulders,
Yeah.
head,
Eyes.
arms, eyes there,
Yep.
mouth.
Yep.
I've never even seen that before.
There's another one in the middle of that first orange block. There's another
Here?
face with eyes
Two
at the top.
eyes
Here,
Yeah.
here.
No, further to
to the left.
left.
There.
Up. There's like the head there that you're on now, and the two eyes.
Head here.
Yeah, that circular bit where you are now. If you look at that, there's like a circle and then two eyes.
Oh
I
yeah.
can see.
I see it
Oh,
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
now. It was like a
Oh,
grey.
God. Yes.
Yep.
Do you know what? I'd never even zoomed properly before. It's good to talk, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Bob
You get to
Hoskins
see
used
all
to say.
sorts. That's amazing.
I mean, look at them. And there's a mist raining down. That's
Yeah.
a UFO moving. It shows you how low it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have some more. Right. Oop.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Yeah.
orange being is now there, and the silver being is now there.
And that bottom left is still
Yes.
got that
Orange.
orange glow to it.
Right. You're making me look now.
There, look.
But it seems to have moved. It's dropped down in front of the fence.
Yeah. That's weird.
There's a lot
Yeah.
going on.
There
It-
is.
Seriously, is so much in every single shot that it'll take ages to actually really assess every single bit.
Yeah.
Now, these are conscious beings, and I know they change
Yeah.
shape and look freaky, but they're making a connection with us.
Yeah.
Why
That was,
it takes
that
on
was
form
like
like
a
that?
cartoon girl's face.
No, I can't get that.
I can.
Hold on it.
Eyes,
When you see through it,
nose,
you can't say it.
almost
Feel
like
the
hair
hair.
fringe
Oh, right.
and hair.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
might just be the way the image was caught.
I know, but you see this everywhere's glowing, and then you've got
Yeah.
The orange one.
right. Let's zoom.
Amazing.
Look at him.
We're gonna Carrie, we're going to go for a break after this one, if that's okay. It's only 2.5 minutes.
That looks like a dancer.
I thought that.
Yeah.
Let me look at that blue.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Look at that.
There's blue and green
That's
in
like
there.
electric blue, isn't it?
I'd love to get a close up. My camera won't. This won't close it up further than that. I can't do it. That looks awesome. I like that. That's wicked. That is
beautiful. Oh yeah, I can see the shaft of light there.
Look at the beam, the mist, but it's left it in the trees where it's been.
There's 2 dots in that mist as well.
Yeah.
It's the ship.
Oh, there it is. Yes.
There he is.
Vanessa, do you sort of explain them bars behind that it's scaffolding?
Yeah, my brother's garden. Beyond there, there's a house being built. So these are scaffolding poles, which make great ruler lines type points of reference. And if you look, even the trees, the fence, everything is clear visuals. And I love these photographs because it's not black sky with an object. You've got the whole scene, the trees,
everything.
You know, you've got points of reference.
Yes,
and
you have,
I believe these are really, they're good pictures. They're just, I think they're fucking awesome, to be honest.
Yeah, they
Pardon
are.
my French.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Brilliant.
Totally agree.
Absolutely.
Right.
Sorry, I know.
Stay where you are. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go
You
for
want
a
to go
quick
for your break?
Yeah.
Quick break.
2.5 minutes. So we'll be straight back after this.
We're back on. Okay.
Hi, guys.
Hello again. Oh, look at that. Oh, we've got to zoom in on that one.
That looks like...
Sorry, it's
one on the
over-zoomed.
left looks like a leaf.
Wow.
Like a plant. I can't think what plant it is. Like a rubber tree. a rubber plant,
Yeah.
Okay.
like them type of leaves.
I
Yeah.
thought it looked more like a lily.
Oh, what? Sorry.
A lily.
Oh,
petals
like
on
a
a
peace
lily do
lily.
Yeah. They're just. And
Yeah,
that's some sort
possibly.
looks like it's almost like they're forming shapes for you to see, isn't it? Sort of.
I know, but I can't make sense of them.
Yeah.
I'm open to any kind of ideas.
Yeah.
And I think
I know this one's going to sound
it should be
ridiculous,
shared.
but the one on the right, it's like balloon shaping.
Yeah. Balloon animal.
You know, yeah, that's
You know what
I
it
think
reminds
so,
me of? You know the Jungle Book, the snake?
Yes, it
Oh,
does.
yeah.
It reminds me of his.
I can never
Always
remember what
does.
to call it. Is it No, Bagheera's the. Yeah. I always get them all mixed
I
up.
don't know. I'm rubbish with names.
Look at the energy that
I know.
they've got
I wonder
going
how
on.
much. I wonder
But
how
you
much
can
effort
see
it
on that
takes to
one,
do that.
you can see the light coming down into, I'll call it the tail. So it
Yeah.
goes over the top of the one on the left
Yeah.
into that one, and then, as
Yeah.
you say, the energy kicks back in again.
Yeah.
Oh, so if you look at that leaf in the top left-hand corner,
Yeah.
you think it's trying to mimic that.
Oh,
Maybe.
yeah. Could be this.
Possibly, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Anything is possible. No one's assessment of it is less credible than anybody else's.
Exactly, yeah.
Everyone's going to
And
see different things when they look at it anyway.
yeah, but
But it's so fascinating.
I like to share them because it's the only way I can get anybody to understand the complexity and open minds up to things. Not everything is an alien grey because you believe
Yeah.
in aliens.
No.
Yeah.
This is what I'm trying to say is they are conscious. They're conscious energy.
Yeah.
And it's a powerful energy. But
It is, yeah.
they can be the ship, but they can form the beings as well.
Yeah.
And when the other thing is, what I want everyone to understand is, we didn't see this. We see a fireball gradually cruising
Yeah.
along, la-di-da-di-da, just going along, right? Therefore, all this activity that goes on, when ships are going overhead, don't think that it's just the 3D version that we live in, as in, oh, that's 10 miles away, so it's only 10 miles away.
Yeah.
It's visually 10 miles away, but it could be beside you or above you in energy terms, reading your thoughts, picking up on your energies, in tune with your personality and who you are.
Yeah.
They could be
Yeah.
encouraging you, enlightening you. That could be influencing you, or it could just be assessing you.
Yeah.
Anything is possible. And I want to open that realm of understanding to everybody, to not just think of it like to us a plane goes over, if it's 20 miles away, that's it, it's fact.
Yeah.
It's 20 miles away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got no connection with that whatsoever. These things are completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
They can go over the top of your house and be seeing and assessing everything that was in it on its way past.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
need to open our minds to other possibilities now.
That's true.
Yeah.
Quick,
sorry, got a
things are
question
stranger
from
than we can
Patricia.
comprehend. Yeah?
Yeah. Have you seen any in the sea?
No, I haven't
you
seen anything
living on
in
the
the
coast?
sea. I've seen
On?
things over the sea, but
Out
not
at sea.
in
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
And Nellie says, do you think there could be messages in symbol form?
I've
Quite
tried
possible.
to understand that. I've thought that. Somebody said to me that looks like a Mothman.
Yeah. Or a dog man.
Oh yeah.
You see the ear shape, the
Yeah.
head shape,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
then
the
like
wing.
a cloak shape
Dogman.
being. And do you know what? I never see that until somebody pointed that out. I went, oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see Dogman with the ears
Yes.
Yeah,
Look at that.
and the
definitely.
way like
That could be
goes
like the
in
outline
Yeah.
and the
of
tail.
the dog man.
Yeah, it's like you were just saying about the dimensions, like with
Yeah.
3D and all that. If
Yeah.
we're only picking it up in 3D, you've got
Yeah.
obviously all the other dimensions that follow that, but we can't see
Yep.
it because we're only living in the third dimension. So
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
not getting the full picture. It's like
Exactly.
our direct peripheral vision that we're picking up on,
Yeah.
or you're picking up on.
Yeah.
You're not getting the rest, like the depth, like the time and space and everything else that comes with it.
Exactly.
Yes.
And that's what
I
all
thought
these
Batman.
orbs.
Yeah, Joe's put
When I look
Batman.
at that now, that's all I see. I can
Yeah.
see it now.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
didn't see that. I was just seeing a squiggly line.
There's a nice big
Yeah.
orb there as well to the left.
Yeah,
They're like planets, aren't
above
they?
the
Yeah,
Look
they
at
are.
that.
left
That
and right.
there and all up
Up
here.
there,
People on
yeah.
the top right as well, isn't there?
Yeah,
Yeah. They're like blood. They're like big planets.
they're amazing.
So, one question: was it raining when you took the photos?
It's a clear sky.
Right. I just checking.
No, that's fine. But it's a clear sky.
No, because someone might say it could be water droplets.
No.
That as the light bounces back when you take the photos.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
There'd be
No,
a
that's
pattern to
fine.
them, though, I think.
I don't mind.
See, now I'm
People
seeing
are entitled to
silhouettes.
their own. I see a
Yeah, yeah.
face there. Black
Yeah.
eyes, nose, chin.
Yeah.
No,
I
I
can
don't
see
see
that.
that.
It's just
I see
amazing.
the top bit.
That
So,
face.
Yeah.
so from the top left, as it arches over and then comes
Yeah.
straight down, I see that as like the head.
Okay. Like, silhouetted again with the light
Yeah,
surrounding
like a
its
profile.
being.
Yeah.
I need to look at these again, in
do.
another way. I really do.
You need to try and. Best person to ask is Richard the Red. From what I know, he got a few things on his computer. What he uses
Yeah.
to filter stuff. Also, Dart 66 Colin. He's got a couple. I think he's got a couple of programs where he tries to filter stuff out so you can get a better picture of it. So it takes all the background
Yeah.
out, so you can just look at
Wow.
what it is you want to see.
All
Look
those
at them.
orbs.
It's like solar system.
That's got a face in it. That one that you're at
Yes. That.
Yeah.
That's an evil
That's-
face.
now. That's like one of those Egyptian elongated head type things.
Yeah, but that's why I said to you, I felt an Egyptian element
Yeah.
to the beings in the trees. And it's that bright. I know you only see that squidge, but
Yeah.
look at everything glowing.
Yeah. I know.
Everything is illuminated.
Imagine if you'd used an
much
IR
energy.
filter.
Maybe I could give you the pictures and you can see, search and do what you want with them and see if
Yeah.
you can get back to me
Yeah,
with something.
yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be great.
because
Yeah, if you
I
set,
ain't no
what I'll
Klingon.
do
I
then,
don't care.
what I'll do, I'll put some on the website with the paintings that you've done.
Oh, bless
So
you.
they're all, so they're all together. So
Yeah.
then people know that they're from you.
Okay.
And then see what people think, see what they come up with. Then they can go on there, they can save the image and see if they can filter any of the background out and what they come up with.
Yeah, because I'm not very technical. I am absolute rubbish. I'm just about to get on StreamYard.
Don't even talk to me about this.
Oh.
How many times was I ready for chucking it out the window?
Oh God, yeah.
Well, that's me.
Get every other
Oops.
sentence. Oh
Yeah,
my
I'm
God,
rubbish.
that was just.
Zoom in on that one, Ness.
Let me tell you about this one before I
Yeah.
zoom, yeah?
Yeah.
Me and my brother, after the UFO had gone and it literally followed where the first one had gone off to. Well, I said to him, pour me a whiskey, because I'll tell you what, I needed one after all that. It felt like Close Encounters of the Third Kind. It just felt like we were living it there and then, and the rest of the
Yeah.
family wouldn't leave the house. They were petrified. So we sat outside, we had some whiskey. I was staying over, so I didn't care. I look rough as old guts, but I don't care. But this is 5 hours later. This is 5 hours later.
Wow.
I had a feeling. I give my brother the camera and I said, I'm going to stand over there beside the rotary washing line, which is on the
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And I stood there and I said to him, I want you to take a couple of shots of me. And I stood there and I went, right, if there's any beings or anything in this garden with me still, get in the picture now, because I'm going to have a couple of pictures taken.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't know anything was still there. Fact.
Yeah.
Now, this is a rotary line with a carrier bag. That white bit is the carrier bag that was
Yeah.
over the top. This silver bit doesn't exist. It's not part of the washing line. You know the silver being I told you about? It was
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
There was the
Amazing.
orange one and there was the silver one, right?
Yeah.
This is the silver one. It was still, when I invited it to come and have its picture took with me,
It quite happily did.
it got beside me. It
Yeah.
went up the pole and had its picture took.
That's amazing.
Well, if you zoom back out a minute, sorry.
Yeah.
You know, you got all the orange mist.
Yeah.
What it reminds me of, when you put a fire out and the embers
Yeah.
are still glowing,
Yeah.
and you get the smoke coming up, and you get that orange glow
Yeah.
to it. That's what it looks like.
I know. But the UFOs had gone. They shouldn't even be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then you hear about entities, especially with these big black devil dogs, where they
Yep.
have the black mist trailing off them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the only thing I can think of when I'm looking at this. That mist is part of them, but like the smoke that trails away from them.
Yeah. But
That one
this
above. That
looks
one
like a
above our
face.
head looks like an old lady's top half of an old lady's face.
I can see
glasses
eyes and a
and
mouth.
curly. Yeah, curly hair and glasses.
Don't
Like
could be my
looking
nan.
sideways.
It looked like my
Okay.
nan.
It looks like a mummy. It looks mummified.
No, I can just see an old lady there.
Has 2 eyes there and a
Well,
mouth.
nose,
It looks
a
like a
mouth.
pixie.
I'm looking to the right. Sorry, to the left of that, above you, just
Here.
off to the left of you. There's glasses, and she's got curly hair. Yeah, glasses,
Curly
nose,
hair,
curly
glasses,
Yeah.
nose.
But it
Could
looks
be
like the
my
bottom
nan.
half of her face is in shadow.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
It's
I
amazing.
can't see that.
You can if you sit back. I can see it clearer now. It's zoomed out, but if you sit back when it's
Yeah, I
zoomed
didn't want
in,
to
you can
zoom it
see.
too close.
That's brilliant.
And for anyone who says, because I understand this distortion around there, I think is happening because of the entity around
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It's creating
Yeah.
that. Because
Can you
the
zoom in
trees
on
are
that one?
clean. It's all clean. It's not
The fence,
camera
the fence at the
disturbance.
back.
It's clean. It's a clean
Yeah.
shot. It's not camera shake. Because everything in that picture is sharp.
Yeah.
Except
It is.
over here, this is distorted.
On the
That's
peg.
distorted. Wherever this is.
Yeah.
And this mist is
Yeah.
still lingering. And I don't know if that mist is what's made me ill. I don't know.
You don't, do you?
No. You know, I said I wanted a couple of shots.
Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
apologise for my roughness, guys, but
Oh, there's an off there.
looking lovely there, girl.
Yeah. Chilled.
There's that.
How long ago was that photo taken? The gap between them two photos? Do you know?
They were in 5 minutes of each other because I I didn't stand there. I'm scared, I ain't standing there on my own
Yeah.
for too long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I go
so
up there and say, take a couple of pictures, bruv. So
Yeah.
he changed position a couple of times, and that was it. And then I joined him back because he had a bench by
Right.
his house. So I joined him back on the bench. I don't want to be standing up there on my Todd.
With an orb within an orb on the fence.
I know.
I
Oops,
know.
what have I done? Don't do that.
Don't do it.
I told you I'm so crap.
Wow.
I just think that little blue one was the little blue one that was in the sky earlier.
Yeah.
Hours ago. 5 hours ago.
Oh,
So it clearly never
sorry.
went.
They're stuck around. This is what I mean. Because I thought they'd gone, well,
Yeah.
I must have felt that they weren't gone. Or they wanted to show me this because maybe one day I would understand.
Yeah.
So maybe they made me do that so that I would understand how complicated it is. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh, look.
Look at that.
2007. That is my son. No one is smoking before we get accused.
Yeah.
He's having a drink. We're outside my friend's house.
Wow.
My son is having a drink.
Can you
These are
go up just
ghosts.
above his head?
Hold on.
I
This
saw
is an
grey.
arm.
I
An
saw
arm.
grey there.
There's
Oh, yeah.
hands. This
Like
is my
fingers
son
and a
who
thumb.
gets reptilians,
Right.
right?
Yeah. Now there's an orb at that window,
What
Yeah,
the
there
hell
is,
is
yeah.
that?
and there's like
Wow.
a black outline.
Yeah, there's an
just
orb
to the-
there.
That's the
Yeah.
face.
This is flying through the air, coming down. I don't know what that is. That's concerning. What the hell is that? There's a lot going on in that picture.
There is, yeah.
And
that is
again,
like-
sequence pictures.
that's like an X-ray of an arm.
Yeah.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You got the
But there's-
Dolan radius.
where the
Well,
street
This
light
one.
is, where the street light is,
Yeah.
just underneath there, there's like a white worm in a U shape.
Like a horseshoe.
Oh, that. Wow, look at that.
How is that?
That. God knows.
I ain't gonna sleep tonight.
Other than fascinating. Yeah.
There's baseball
That's
bat at the
by my
side of
car.
you.
That's my car.
Yeah.
It is my little Orbie.
Oh, yeah. Is that on the windscreen? The top of the windscreen?
No, it's
Wow.
between my front door and the car.
That,
Right.
that almost
That's the back
looks like
door
a
of the
coin.
car. Huh?
That almost looks like a coin. You know, with like the
Oh yeah.
embossed
Yeah.
bits
on
on it.
it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You can see the nose and the mouth and the eyes.
Yeah.
I
Um,
know. There's a nose.
That's weird.
It's a smiley face. No, I thought it was profile. Sorry, can you zoom back in?
Yeah.
Right. It's like, do you know when you see cartoon
Eyes.
drawings of the moon?
Nose. Mouth.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like an animated kid's moon. Is
Yeah.
all I can see.
Yeah.
Are your viewers
the
enjoying
face.
this?
That is not.
Yeah. They're
Well,
loving
you
I'm not
it.
see
boring them,
everything.
am I?
No, definitely not. That's amazing.
Man in the moon.
Now
Well-
they're saying that the figure behind your son's a reptilian.
I'm not surprised. Here.
I'm presuming so, yeah.
Oh my God, they're so
Oh,
spooky
yeah.
looking at. Oh God, I don't like that. I don't
No,
want to
it's a
look.
bit
I
creepy.
don't want to look. That's a bit dark.
Yeah. Moving on.
Yeah. I call him my pixie in the woods. This is the woods. And there's his ear, mouth. Oh. Just freaky.
Yeah.
That's over Blackheath Woods. And then that ghost is flying through Blackheath Woods. There's a face, the arms, and a body
Oh,
come
yeah.
Oh,
through,
yeah. Like a
flying.
genie.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah, you can see the elbows and the shoulders.
Yeah.
And no one is near that. We're on the
No.
path, and that is in the wood, and you can see that's a lamppost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't gone down the path to that way yet.
Okay.
We're up this end,
Yeah.
and that lush.
That's amazing. What's the orange circle in the middle?
It's an orb.
Look at that green
Oh.
one.
Yeah, the green. Look.
That looks like a cell.
Yeah.
Single cell.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what, because I'm
No.
not a scientist, but
I just wondered whether it was nature spirits.
Yeah,
could
possibly,
be.
yeah.
So I
The tree
attribute
people.
that to, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Andy's gone off.
No, I'm still here.
Oh, he's back. He's back.
I've not
Now,
gone anywhere.
this was in my
You did?
garden, and you see this here on the right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They come from there, they puff over. My son's ball is in the middle of the grass, and the
Yeah.
ghosts are playing
Yeah.
football.
Yeah. You can see that. It looks like he's about to kick it.
Yeah. There's his bottom leg,
Yeah.
leg bent,
Yeah.
arm, and I think there's another one there. I think they're tackling to play football.
What's that in the background? That white
That
sort of two. Yeah, what's that?
I've questioned it too. Oh,
Zoom in.
Zoom
I
in.
don't like it.
It's
Do I have
hooded,
to?
whatever it is.
Do I have
you don't
to?
mind.
I don't
Look at
want
that.
to.
If it's horrible, I'll just end the broadcast. Don't worry about
I'm
it.
just a wuss.
Just zoom in. Oh.
I
Yeah.
don't
Do you know what
want
it-
to.
It looks
Oh.
like the back of a cat, a big cat with a big head climbing up a wall.
Yes. I see that, yeah.
You get what I
No.
mean? Like
Yeah.
a teddy bear
Hooded figure
cat
to me.
type thing.
Yeah.
I
It's the
don't
back
like
of it.
it.
There's a lot going
What
on
is
in
that in that area?
I don't know, and I don't like it.
So where that tree is,
Yeah, this is like mushrooms bits that are growing up the tree.
yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
but
that
you've
bit,
got
that bit,
two
that bit, that bit.
stumps there,
Uh-huh.
and then there's something, that white figure on the black
What,
is in between
like
the two
this?
trees.
That looks like a tub, doesn't it? Like,
Yeah.
like, but I don't recall that being there, and I definitely never see that before, and I don't like it.
No. It's a
Oh,
hooded
what the
figure to me, that.
hell is that?
Oh, whoa, no, I can see it now. It's a figure, a head, arm, and body.
Yeah.
Because that's my
Yeah.
shed. God,
That looks like a cross.
I can see
part
it.
of a cross.
holy
Moly.
If you
moly!
look,
I've never
you've got-
ever. That looks like a gang of them.
There's a lot going on.
He's there. 2, 3, 4. I don't
I
like
can
it.
only see the white one, and the black one looks like the Hat Man.
There's. It looks like the
That
Hat
one would
Man.
freak you
Look,
out.
there's the hat.
Yep. I've got that.
He
that's
almost
def-
looks like he's got, you know, like soldiers when they wear the gas mask thing.
Yes.
Yes.
He's got that
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of facial bit there, and then his shoulders. Oh my
Yeah.
god!
Is that a bird
Do you know
table in
what? I spent
front?
so much time looking at this.
That's a bird table there, isn't it? Where the tree is.
Right there is, yeah, a red one.
Yeah.
That is right
That
there.
looked like a
Yep.
cross to me.
No,
What
I
the
can
hell
see
is
the
that?
roof and the platform, so
I don't know.
I could just make it out.
That looks like a dog.
Yeah, it does.
No,
You're
pig.
joking.
That's like a pig's head. The
Yeah,
Do you
snout.
it
look
is
what
actually,
these
yeah.
Snout.
pictures?
So where the reflection
Yeah,
is on
I
that
don't
bite,
like it.
you got the snout and then the ear and the
Yep.
the head where the eye is,
Mhm.
and then
You've got
whatever
a
it
lot
is
more
is
than you thought you had
shadowed.
there.
It's throwing a shadow above it.
Mm.
I'm totally freaking
I'll
out.
shut up now.
Because what I will tell
Sorry.
you is, one day, I'd had a couple of UFOs over this garden, and my son was going to stay with his friend over the woods, and my car was parked beyond this gate, and my son wanted to go and sit in it with his mate and wait for me to finish my KFC because I was going to
Yeah.
drop him to his house. And they opened my door to this garden was through the front room, so I could sit in the front room and have the door open and see the garden.
Yeah.
So that's me, the whole family, all sitting in there. My son goes out with his friend, and they never got beyond the doorstep. My son pushed his friend to the ground, climbed over him in a scrap to get back in the house, started dripping sweat everywhere, freaked out. You see, in the next neighbour's garden was a purple ball of light, and then it shot
Right.
down here to the bottom under this tree in front of the shed here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
as my son saw that, he see this 3-foot being with saucer eyes standing right there. At which point he pushed his friend to the ground, rushes into the house where I'm sitting there going, "What the hell are you doing?" Because you do.
Yeah.
Um, and it was some time watching Jay. He was sweating. Honestly, he was dripping sweat on my wooden floors. I was like, "Oh my god!" His mate was clambering to his feet, but when I got to the door and get out with the torch, this had gone. But I know from my son's reaction what he saw was real, and it
Yeah.
affected him so badly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my other son was outside with. I was upstairs in the loo, and my staircase from the front room. Our staircase was in the front room. It used to go up to the next landing. And I was up there, and my son and his friend were outside here trying to get internet connection. Um, and I heard all this kerfuffle. They scramble in, slam the door. They were beating each other up on the way in. They were in a panic to get away from something. I come down the
Yeah.
stairs going, "What the hell are you two doing?" Because I thought they wrecking that bloody house. We're going to
Yeah.
kill them
Yeah.
in a minute. And they said, "No, no, no, no. It was here." They were trying to get internet connection on their phone, couldn't. Then something in the tree moved, and it was higher up, and its legs spread between that tree, that tree.
Wow.
That's a
And it
bit of
was
a wide
man,
gap as well, isn't it?
it was higher up, yeah. It's a big gap. And this being was 9 foot tall, almost reptilian in shape, and it shook that.
Yeah.
It
Really.
literally bounced and shook the trees, and I have gone up to that and tried to push it, and it's solid. I can't move it,
Nothing.
right? And it leapt beyond that fence. So between
Yeah.
my fence, you've got the car park, and the fence that leads to the woods, there's 30 foot. And this being jumped from these trees in one leap, boom, hit the car park, boom, went into the woods with one
Wow.
leap. That will show you how tall that was.
Yeah.
And I
Jeez.
believe the boys because I see and heard the commotion, and it's
Yeah.
a fact, you know.
Yeah.
They'll tell you. Now, Ian Hawlin come down, and I took him 2000 and is it 2018 or 2019? What was the October before COVID?
18.
18.
I
Okay,
think.
so
Yeah.
this was October 2018, and the UFOs showed up to show off in front of Ian. He couldn't believe it. I took him to
Oh,
my old house, and had my daughter and a friend. We took him to the woods, and
yeah.
a UFO appeared when I took him back to my house, right where we just stood in the woods. This UFO hovered over where we'd just been, and Ian
Wow.
could not believe his luck.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's
I
so
know where I'm
bright.
going on my next investigation.
Yeah.
Out of
Seriously.
Suffolk.
And when Ian stayed at he stayed at Premier Inn in Lowestoft, and the
Yeah.
next morning that whole area of where he stayed, the north end of Lowestoft, had a complete power cut, and it was
Wow.
Really.
unscheduled. Yep.
I think it's all the energy that they put out. I mean,
Can you, sorry, before you go
wow.
to that
Yeah.
one, can you go back to the one in the garden where it looks like the figures? I just want to ask you one question about it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So, top left, you got the 3 yellow dots.
Hold on. Where's my thing? That's it. Right. What?
Top left.
Top left,
Right. Hold on. I'm coming.
yeah, straight up
Yep.
from there.
Yeah.
Are they
They're street
lights in the
light.
garden? Or street lights, or
No, beyond the car park bit, there's a fence that
Yeah.
started the woods, and they chopped some of that woods down and put a road through, and they
Right.
are the street lights from that road.
Very
Ah, right.
triangular
Okay.
looking though.
They're through
Yeah,
the
that's what I
trees.
was
Yeah, they
thinking.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, they are the street lights for that road that goes along there.
Right.
Right. No, I was asking because it's the same yellow as the reflective bit on the bike. That was
Yeah.
all.
No, that's fine. But that's what I'm here for. I see what you mean. That.
That. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a fluke that
Yeah.
they look like that. I know.
But that white thing between the trees is very unnerving.
Yeah.
That.
It
I
is.
don't.
Yeah.
I want to look at it, but I don't want to look at it.
Yeah.
I know. I know.
I just want to.
There's him there,
It,
that there.
That's weird.
yeah.
I don't like it
Yeah.
either.
Moving
You can
along.
Like a
feel
pillow
free.
person.
Yeah. Well, that orangey UFO, right? When
Yeah.
I was on the other side of this fence, looking through the
Yeah.
trees back at my house, um, you see that,
Yeah.
It's
right?
amazing.
I didn't take that picture. Okay,
Right.
this was the only picture I could find of. This is Carlos Diaz in
Right.
Mexico.
Yeah.
He took
Right.
this picture of these orange UFOs, yellow ones that come over
Yeah.
in Mexico, and is
Yeah.
the only one who's got the exact UFO that come over my house where you just see the ghost in the garden,
Right.
right? I
Right.
was with my mate Shelley, and this 2001. It was April the 17th, and the only time I know that it was after the event was 1:15 a.m. I don't know how long we
Right.
were out there, so I can't verify that part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what you see there is what I saw over the roof of my house, and it was 4 houses long, which will show you the size of it.
Wow.
Right.
Only mine wasn't, like that's orangey red and yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mine was, um, the yellow bit was white, and the orangey bits were blue, sky blue.
Right.
Right.
Okay. Did it have
And
like that window or doorway in it? That rectangle?
oh, it's identical to that, but my one had
Exactly
veins
the
in
same.
it, like marble.
Yeah.
Right.
hmm What happened was I bought a new camera, and I thought, because I was showing my mate, because I hadn't moved up here that long, and my mate was
Yeah.
curious about them and all that. And we was sky watching from September till, April. Um,
Yeah.
she really wanted to see, and I hadn't seen anything more than downward discs of light. And I know when I was younger, I had that one hover outside the window and that, but
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
far as solid craft goes, I hadn't seen a solid ship like in later ages and stuff like that. So anyway, I buy this camera with a fitted flash on top. Well, this
Right.
starlight
Yeah.
UFOs were going over like little starlights. People go, "Oh, it's a satellite," and I'm like, "No, no, I've got a vibe." So I said to Shell, "What will happen if I flash one?" So you know what I mean. I flashed it with the camera, and as it
Yeah.
was going away, it did this little blip back at us, and I went, "Oh my god!" We got reaction, we got reaction. And I was
Yeah.
so excited, right? I was like, yeah, this works. Anyway, another UFO come from that direction coming towards us. And I've gone to her, hey, look, that one was going that way. It's gone, oi, they're down there with a camera, give them a flash. And I've
Yeah.
gone, and he's
Yeah.
coming in to give us a flash. I was making a right joke out of it, because I can be a twat sometimes. Well, this thing goes over the roof of my house and stops. So I've gone, oi,
Oh.
what the hell? And then in a click, I kid you not, in a blink, this thing didn't even come down. This switched off as a starlight. It just switched off and appeared as that right above my
Wow.
house in one click. So
Jeez.
it dematerialized and then
Yeah.
materialized as that over the roof of the house. At which point, I didn't expect that, you see.
Yeah.
You'd think it would come down. No, we didn't get time for that. It just appeared. So I stood there with my jaw open, just staring at it. I had a camera in my hand around my neck. I didn't even take a picture of it because I daren't take my eyes off it because I didn't know what it was going to do next. And
Yeah.
she's doing the same, but it was so pretty and it was pulsing, um,
Yeah.
brighter white blue, and no sound. And it was only like 50 to 100 foot above the roof of my house. So this thing was huge. So I've gone, wow. I remember doing that. She said, wow, in reaction to it. And then
Yeah.
it seemed like an eternity, but it couldn't have been that long, but it seemed like an eternity. And then it redid itself backwards. So it switched off and it appeared back as a starlight and went off towards the North Sea. So I then turned to my mate and grabbed her by the neck and I shook her like a leaf. And I went, oh my God, you see that? You see that? She's reacted the same. We're like beating each other up on the street. And then she stopped and looked funky behind me. So I've gone, what? Well, I turned round and there was 3 orange balls of light making a triangle shape that were over the
Right.
houses to the neck just behind my house, and it was the same height as what this had come down. So we're looking at only like between 50, 100 foot above the roof of the house, and it was moving away like really silently, but it looked like the bottom end of a rocket the way it was going away.
Yeah.
Right.
So I looked at her and I went, that ain't funny. That is not funny. I went, while we were looking at this one, where the hell was that one?
Yeah.
That other one would have been behind us
Yeah.
while we were facing this one. So it felt again like close encounters of the third kind, at which
Yeah.
point we run in my house and shut the door. I tell my son, who throws the key away, it's like, you're having a laugh. I phone my brother and I'm trying to get him on the phone, and his girlfriend's gone, nah, it's gonna sleep. And I'm going, ah.
Wake him
So
up.
I smoked 10 fags, one after the other, in
Yeah.
shock. But that was the funky part about all this was, A1, the reality. That was my reality check for true, because we don't have that technology. I don't care who says what. We
No.
can't do that yet, right?
Right.
Then I said to Shell, shit, they know where we live.
Yeah. That's the other thing, isn't
Ow.
it?
She still had to go home, which was about 5 houses away. So she was
Yeah.
terrified to go home. And then that night I was petrified. The next day, when I see my mate, she's gone to me, you ain't gonna believe this, but I come on. I went, what? She ain't due. So I made a joke, going, you've been probed. And I was trying to make light of it. And then
Yeah.
later on,
Yeah.
it happened to me as well. And I weren't due either. And I've gone, oh my God, this ain't funny anymore. So,
No.
there was a reality check there that, and I said to her, maybe we were in shock and it's come
Yeah.
out in us
Yeah.
that way. So I was
Yeah.
trying to
Maybe.
rationalize it. But then that night, when I did go to bed, this is the following night from it, I couldn't sleep. I was so scared.
Yeah.
There was a change. I thought something's coming tonight and it's going to actually come and get me. And I figured, I slept with my kids. I was petrified and I had all the lights in the house on.
Yeah.
And this went on for 4 days. I could not sleep for love nor money. I was shaking like a leaf. I thought someone's going to come and get me. I thought I was going to see a head peep around the door,
Yeah.
and it made me ill. And we wouldn't even go out once it started getting dark. We hid up. We didn't go out,
Yeah.
and that was the first time something had affected me so badly. So that was April the 17th. We decided come May the 14th to brave it and go out. So
Yeah.
anyway, it's early evening and we go out and I got my camera again, and again I didn't use it. Oh, by the way, my camera was opened that night when I went in, and the film was
Right.
destroyed inside my camera. But I
That's
never
brilliant.
took a picture and I never opened it. It was brand new, so it weren't even faulty. It was brand
Yeah.
new.
Yeah.
Anyway, May the 14th, we go outside. We're in the car park beyond my garden, and I thought it was a plane coming towards us. Like one of them little Cessnas, really
Yeah.
low.
Yeah.
Green
Yeah.
light
Yeah.
on one wing and a red light on the other wing. So I've gone, oh, there's nothing to flash at. There's only a plane. And anyway, as it come overhead, it changed. It weren't a plane. It lit up like a dimmer switch being switched on. It lit
Right.
up as
Yeah.
a massive amber cross right above both our heads.
Wow.
And it held its position above us, and then it dimmed down, and it went away. And
Yeah.
as it went off, it did multicoloured in circles as it went off. But I think I had a download because I run indoors and I have books and magazines. And I just started going, this means that means that. I was connecting everything from Eric
Right, yeah.
von Daniken's examples of things to pictures of the face on my. I just went off on one. And it was
Yeah.
at that point I went, Jesus was a hybrid. Mary was abducted and taken. And then I said they didn't follow a star, the Magi, across the desert. It was UFO ships guiding them to where this special being was going to be. I started going off on one, and I didn't have internet yet. And
No.
it weren't till
Yeah.
3 years later, after I'd had internet and everything, that I was starting to hear other people saying the same thing. But
Yeah.
I got that myself from, and I believe, that UFO. And I said to Shell, why did they show me a cross when they know that a cross would be a religious symbol to us? I went, the
Yeah.
only thing that must be is that everything is connected, from spirit
Yeah.
to the religious side of things. There is a massive connection to
Yeah.
all of them, and we need to start looking at this from a different perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Definitely.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's it, guys.
That is it.
We're at the
That
2
is
hour
it.
mark.
We are.
Them photos are absolutely amazing. If you send them over to either me or Deb, I'll
Yeah.
put
Yeah.
some on Facebook and I'll put them all on the website.
Yes.
Yeah.
So massive
will
thank you,
do.
Vanessa,
Did
for coming on
everybody
tonight.
like them?
Of
I
course
certainly
it is.
did. I'm sure everybody did.
Yeah. I'm like,
I do know
wow.
that. I think it was Nelly. Nelly put that, whatever it is, that the one in the garden has made me feel nauseous and a massive pain in the front of my head. She
Yeah.
must be very
Oh
sensitive.
my God.
Yeah, the one with
Yeah.
his son at the front. Was it the one with the hand
No,
behind
it's the
him?
foot-
Yeah.
Oh, was it? Oh, I don't know which one. One of them.
That's my
I think it was
oldest,
the garden one.
Oh, was it the garden one?
the
I've
garden
been
one.
peering around the tree, yeah.
Well, I'll tell everybody, okay? Say the Lord's Prayer as your protection, because it's
Yeah.
worked for me. I learned that that was my most protective thing to do. And I do it every night I go to bed, and I send protection to everyone I love.
Yeah. You do what works for you, don't you?
Yeah. And when they showed me that cross, I said, right, well, if that's a connection, then there's power there in prayer.
Yeah. 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 That's true.
But I'll give you that. You can assess away whatever, do you know what I mean? But I just felt like, because I sat on this for so long when my kids were younger, and
Yeah.
to protect them.
Yeah.
They're all flying the nest and things like that.
Yeah.
And they're cool with me sharing, because
Yeah.
I just don't think I should keep them things to myself. I think it's good. Shows like this are great. We can interact, we can ask questions, we can share, you know, and it's
And
just
people
great that you gave me
see-
the opportunity to share on here with
No, thank you for coming on.
different people.
people see different things in different pictures as well, don't they? So
Yeah.
you've seen stuff tonight that you didn't pick up on before, so that's good as
I
well.
didn't. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good, so
you'll be
good.
going through them with a fine tooth comb later.
Yeah, you
No, I
will.
won't. I want to sleep tonight.
Yeah, so do we.
Yeah. I'm going
Will
to turn my
another
computer
day.
off and go to bed. Have some sleeping
Yeah.
tablets. Wake up Wednesday.
Yeah.
If only.
But I'll share
Oh,
them.
thank
And
you.
if anybody ever wants to look at them, then feel free.
Well, they'll be on the website.
Yeah.
That'll
So
be fab.
yeah. Once again, a massive thank you for
Yes.
Vanessa for coming on.
Thank
Thank you
you.
everyone in the chat.
Yes, thank
And
you.
everyone
you.
else that is tuned in. Don't forget, next week we've got Philip Kinsella coming on.
Yeah.
Good old
We're
Philip.
Good old
Yes.
Philip.
I need to start reading
And
this
we'll
book.
definitely have you back, Vanessa.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
here.
definitely come back on.
If we only
Yeah.
scraped the surface, there's so much
Yeah,
more.
oh yeah.
That's it. So yeah, so a massive thank you to everyone that's been on. I'll get the photos put on the website. by the middle of the week.
Yeah.
So as soon as you send them out, I'll get them done in 10 minutes. Don't tell Colin. He doesn't know how to do it.
Well, Deb, if you send me your email address, what I'll do
Yeah.
is I'll send them over to your email, and you can then do
Yeah.
whatever.
Will do.
Cool.
That would be a good way to do it.
Yeah, and thanks,
Yeah, I'll
Joe, for
message you.
moderating.
Yeah, thank
So-
you.
Thank you, everybody.
Don't go anywhere just yet. And
No.
we'll see you all on Friday. So take care, everyone, and good night.
Night night.